Welcome to the Edit Bay, I'm Joe Baker. It's been a while since we've done a product review on this channel, so tonight let's take a look at the Panasonic 35mm to 100mm f4 to f5.6. Most cameras with a micro 4/3 mount are going to have a 2x crop factor, which makes a 35 to 100mm a 70 to 200mm equivalent. Now, Panasonic actually has two flavors of their 70 to 200mm equivalent lenses. On the higher, more professional end, we've got an f2.8 constant aperture, and then we have this little guy. It stands to reason that if Panasonic is going to make two versions of the same focal range lens, the cheaper of the two is going to be missing some features. And that's what makes this lens review worthy. You're not going to take the hit where you might expect with this lens. First off, this lens has image stabilization. Mega IOS as Panasonic calls it. And on a telephoto lens, you need image stabilization. This is a huge feature to have. Now, it doesn't have the convenient on and off switch like its big brother f2.8 constant has, but if you're on a Panasonic body, you can go into the camera's menu and disable it. Autofocus, lightning fast, especially on a Panasonic body that has the depth from defocus technology. Panasonic also didn't sacrifice image quality with this lens. It's sharp. And with all of my tests, I shot them handheld with the image stabilization on, and I was getting sharp images at shutter speeds as low as a 1/30th of a second. Now to be clear, I've never actually shot with the 35 to 100mm f2.8 lens, but I do own the Olympus 45mm f1.8 lens, which is extremely sharp. And when I compared them side by side with this one, they're in the same ballpark. There's a huge price difference between this lens and its big brother lens. The big brother lens goes for about $800. I got this brand new for $140 out the door on eBay. Awesome steal. Now, this lens is also available in both matte black and in silver. And at the time of this recording, you stand to save a little bit of money if you opt for the silver copy. Okay, for the cons. Obviously, we're getting a slower, variable aperture, which for me, being primarily a landscape photographer, isn't a huge deal. Of course, a 70 to 200 or equivalent lens is a popular choice for portrait work as well. So if you do a lot of portrait work, especially in a studio, this may not suit your needs. Another point worth bringing up is that portrait photographers may be averse to using this lens for the same reason I find it handy. It's tiny. It's tiny to the point of almost looking comical. It's hard to look legit with this little thing sticking out of your already small camera body. And it may seem like I'm cracking a joke, but the truth is most non-photographers aren't aware that DSLRs are on their way out. If someone hires you for portrait work, they're probably expecting you to show up with a big Canon 70 to 200 lens. So my final thoughts on this lens is if you're an architectural landscape photographer, you may be willing to forego the extra $500 and opt for the cheaper lens. And you'd have the added benefit of having a lens that can fit in most pockets. But if you do a lot of portrait work, especially if you get paid gigs on a regular basis, the f2.8 version may be a better fit. It's larger, heavier, and looks more legit, and it's better suited for low light photography. All right, everybody, that's it for tonight. As always, if there's any questions I can answer for you, please drop them in the box below. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the Edit Bay, please do so. You'll be notified whenever I come out with a new tutorial. I appreciate the support. I'll see you next time.